Well, this time I actually have to give Channel 1 some credit. They actually covered a story that mattered. Okay, I'm just completely shocked. I cannot believe they actually did the right thing for once, and it was actually pretty easy to find this article on their website. In fact, you didn't really have to scroll down that much to find it, but a very scary incident that happened at the Kings Plaza Mall in Brooklyn in the Mill Basin section. And obviously, this is too close to home for yours truly, as my parents' friends do live in the Mill Basin section of Brooklyn. And obviously, as soon as I heard about this on Channel 7 yesterday, I'm thinking, oh, this is probably another story Channel 1's going to ignore. But believe it or not, Channel 1 proved me wrong. I'm shocked for once. I cannot believe the astounding turn of events from Spectrum, the owners of Channel 1. You know what it is? I'm not calling them their original name like I normally do when I'm, I guess, out of it. But because they did cover some crime, but they did miss a couple other stories that we're going to get to, obviously. So, I just want to mention on the website, believe it or not, you can see this correctly, and I will move this to the right so you all can see it. Look at this. They spent 2 minutes and 46 seconds covering it. So again, thank you, Channel 1. They actually do the right thing for once. Believe it or not. I am just completely shocked. Okay, so we're going to read this article. And there are some missing pieces that I'm going to double check with the Brooklyn paper. But we'll read this article first from Channel 1. 3 people are now facing charges in connection with a shooting Monday, January 31st, inside the Kings Plaza Mall in the Mill Basin section of Brooklyn. The NYPD says one of them, Timothy Briggs of the Bronx, is charged with attempted murder, assault, criminal weapons possession, criminal use of a firearm, and reckless endangerment. So what was this team doing in Brooklyn in the first place? You know what I think it is? They probably took the subway from the Bronx, then took the B41 bus down to Mill Basin. That's what I think probably happened. Police said the shooting happened around 2:30 p.m. when a group of 3 teens were approached by another group of 6 teens inside of a shoe store on the first floor of the mall. According to police, a 14-year-old was hit in the leg and taken to Maimonides Hospital, where he's listed in stable condition and is expected to recover. A 16-year-old was grazed in the leg according to authorities and was taken to NYC Health Hospital's Kings County in stable condition. John Williams, a minister, said, "People were like chaos, and you can imagine a place where families bring their children, a place where it's supposed to be safe in this cold weather." Destiny Brown, a shopper, said, "I don't know why there are guns inside of the mall. I don't know why there was a shooting occurring anyway." So the 2 other people under arrest have been identified as Jaheim Covington, 19, of Brooklyn, and Omarion Harvey, 18, of Brooklyn. Covington is charged with weapons possessions, and both are charged with reckless endangerment. Police said 2 firearms were recovered. So I do hope the Brooklyn DA is going to do the right thing, because the last thing you need is these crooks to be out back on the street. They should not be back out in the street, that's for sure. They shouldn't. Okay, so there are some more details from the Brooklyn paper. So Channel 1 didn't give this information out. They didn't say what time this... Oh, yeah, they did say what time it happened. So this is what the Brooklyn paper is saying. So, the teens were found by officers at Avenue U at 52nd Street. Okay, so again, I don't know why there would be guns in the mall. That I agree with. That's ridiculous. I mean, I hope this never happens to Queens Center because there have been crazy stuff that happens in Elmhurst. Alright? Okay, here we go. Many people were seeking safety in stockrooms and outlet stores. So I'm assuming the mall has been closed since, let's take a look and see if the Kings Plaza Mall has something online and see if they are open today. Let's see. Just going to take a look to see if they have anything on their Facebook page. I'm taking a look. Okay, here we go. Here is their Facebook page. I'm assuming they are open today. I mean, they don't have anything on the mall, but I'm assuming they're probably open. Let's see if they have anything on their Twitter. Look at this. 2 days ago, they claimed, oh, excellence in hygiene certification for COVID. Okay, well, we don't need to know about that. That's a given. Okay, so I'm going to show you where this mall is on Google Street View. And obviously, as you can see right here, it was right around here. And we're just going to look for East 52nd Street. Yeah, okay, here we go. Because I know Avenue U very well. I know Avenue U very well. Yeah, so I'm thinking, yeah, this is probably one of where... No, there's no exit over here. Unless, hang on. Let me see something. No, I don't think there's an exit outside of here. I don't know how the teens got out of the mall in the first place, which is shocking to begin with. Because, again, I know this area very well. And obviously, I take Mill Avenue to get to my parents' friend's house. So, again, I'm very familiar with this area. Trust me. And as soon as I heard what happened, I was just disgusted. That's for sure. So, that happened. And again, thank you, Channel 1. They actually spent a long time covering it. In fact, let's just take a look to see if News 12 Brooklyn actually covered it. Let's see. Because remember, News 12 does have an affiliate in Brooklyn. So, remember, you have Channel 1's viewers who do have Optimum. And let's just see if we can find it. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. How does News 12 Brooklyn not have anything about what happened at the mall yesterday? Are you kidding me? Wow, same old Altice. Huh? It's like they double-cross people in Long Island, and now they double-cross people in Brooklyn. It's like, ugh. I'm just gonna double check, because remember, this broke around 4 p.m. yesterday. Let's see. Look at this. There's nothing about it. Shame on you, News 12 Brooklyn. Thank goodness Spectrum News covered it. Thank goodness. Well, we don't need to waste any more energy on that, so... Let's get into the other news the Channel 1's not going to cover, though. First up, we got this. Homeless man indicted in shoe elevator attacks inside Forest Hills apartment building, according to Queens District Attorney Melinda Katz. Okay, so here we go. So this happened in December. Ralph Toro, age 62, was arraigned back on Monday, December 27th. Oh, my bad. Was arraigned on Thursday, January 27th. Okay, because I'm looking at 2021's date by accident. Before Queen's Supreme Court Justice. Hang on, let me just move this so you can read it. I'm so sorry, I had to double check. Queen's Supreme Court Justice Usar Pandit Durant on a 6-count indictment charging him with attempted robbery, sexual abuse, criminal possession, and menacing, according to Queens District Attorney Melinda Katz. According to the charges, Toro, a registered level 3 sex offender living in a homeless shelter at the Holiday Inn Express near Flushing Meadows Corona Park, allegedly stood inside an elevator on the morning of Friday, December 17, 2021, with a 28-year-old woman in an apartment building on 75th Street. When the doors opened, Toro began to exit the elevator, then suddenly turned around and allegedly pulled out a knife while demanding money from the woman, according to the DA. He then reached into her jacket pockets, and then the victim shoved the defendant away from her and fled. Katz said that around noon on the same day, Toro followed a 51-year-old woman into an elevator inside of an apartment building on 108th Street. Toro allegedly pulled out a knife, demanding that the victim give him money, and blocked her from exiting the elevator. As Toro continued to demand money from the woman, she informed him that she had no cash and emptied the contents of her pocketbook onto the floor of the elevator, according to the charges. The defendant, while still holding the knife, allegedly put his hand down the victim's pants and sexually assaulted her. The victim tried to fight him off, and the defendant then fled the location. Katz said the second incident was captured on video surveillance. Detectives from the 112th Precinct in Forest was able to locate additional surveillance video from various sources and then trace Toro's movements to the Corona shelter located at 113-10 Horace Harding Expressway. So we have an address. We're going to look it up. Thankfully, we can paste it on here. Let's see where this is. I think I have an idea where this is. I think I do. Yep! I know exactly where this is. Right by the Q88. You cannot make this stuff up. You just can't. Let's get a street view of it. I mean, again, this is what they do. They tell the community, oh, we're just going to dump these homeless people in your community. I'm like, again, no community input means you're going to have... Yep, look at this. This is the hotel they were talking about. I mean, you cannot make this stuff up. You know, these homeless shelters, again, are just a bad example of what the community doesn't need. And again, you know, it's just disgraceful that this is happening. Well, trust me, you're not gonna keep me away from the Unisphere, homeless people. You're not. I'm gonna go to the Unisphere later this year. Trust me. I'm gonna plan a trip because you're not keeping me away from this park. No, no one does. No one does. Toro was taken into custody by detectives after employees at the shelter identified him from still photos taken from the surveillance video. So, this is what Melinda Katz said. The defendant is accused of committing 2 separate terrifying elevator attacks approximately an hour apart on the same day, inside different Forest Hills apartments buildings. As alleged, the defendant waited for the women to be alone in a confined space to pull out a knife and then attack them. Okay, here we go. Justice Pandit Usher ordered Toro to return to court on Tuesday, March 3rd, in Kew Gardens. If convicted, he will face up to 16 years to life in prison. So he should be spending the rest of his life in jail. Crooks like this, he needs to go to jail. Jail! That's where you belong. Jail! Jail! Look at this piece of trash right here. Right? So this judge better do the right thing on March 3rd. Because this guy does not need to be roaming the streets. Alright? He just doesn't. Right? He could probably end up going to the other shelter in Fresh Meadows for all we know. Okay. Moving on. Believe it or not, after we talked about this developing story from over the weekend, the father who was caught on video assaulting his own child has turned himself in. So that is some excellent news. Because remember, he was probably all over the news during the weekend. How he saw himself. Okay, so here we go. Maldeno Stroman, age 26, turned himself into police custody on Monday, January 31st. He was charged with assault and acting in manner injurious to a child younger than the age of 17. According to police at 6:45 p.m. on Saturday, January 29th, the NYPD received a 911 call regarding a small boy who was assaulted by an adult man at 2529 7th Avenue. The man and the child were not present when the police arrived. An investigation found Stroman allegedly entered the location with his toddler-aged son, with surveillance footage allegedly showing him striking the boy, causing him to fall to the ground. Alright, so Stroman then allegedly put the child in the stroller, left the location. So that is some good news. That is some very good news that this person did the right thing. Do not make this stuff up. You just can't. Okay, so lots going on in Brooklyn. I mean, I don't really want to get into it. But I'll just read this one because I don't want to make the video too long. So this is our last one we're going to read. Detectives are working to solve another deadly Brooklyn shooting on Monday afternoon to claim the young child's life. Police said the victim, a man in his 20s, was at the corner of East 51st Street and Remsen Avenue in Brownsville at about 2 p.m. on January 31st. Officers from the 67th Precinct responding to a 911 call about the shooting found the victim unconscious and unresponsive with multiple gunshot wounds about his body. Based on a preliminary investigation, police learned that moments earlier 2 suspects had arrived on the scene inside a silver vehicle. They got out of the car, confronted the victim, and opened fire. Following the attack, cops said the pair of perps returned to the silver vehicle, which was seen fleeing the location southbound on Remsen Avenue. Following the attack, police said the pair of perps returned to the silver vehicle, which was seen fleeing the location southbound along Remsen Avenue. EMS rushed the victim to Kings County Hospital, where he was pronounced dead a short time later. Police do not yet know the man's identity. So far, police do not have any information about a possible motive for the deadly shooting or description of the suspect. Oh, look at this. A 35-year-old man was shot in front of his front porch of a home on Empire Boulevard in Crown Heights. Police do not know if either incidents are connected. Ongoing investigation, no arrest. So that's just disturbing right there. Okay, so that's going to wrap everything up. And obviously, you are not seeing deja vu all over again. You're actually seeing reality. It's Groundhog Day all over again. I hate that I have to be referencing that to another police officer's funeral that's taking place tomorrow at St. Patrick's Cathedral in Midtown. But that's the reality that has become of our city. And you just saw a lot of these incidents in Brooklyn, and obviously, you know, right now with everything going on, and I understand that I complain a lot about Queens, but obviously for any of my viewers in Brooklyn, and I'm sure maybe my parents' friends are watching this, you know, I'm going to say this right now. You know, a lot of crazy things have been happening in Brooklyn since the calendar year has turned. And, you know, please take your safety as your utmost important priority right now because a lot of crazy stuff has been going on in Brooklyn. I read it all the time on the Brooklyn Paper's website. It's crazy. I mean, robberies and, shootings and, you know, I mean, Brooklyn's had its bad areas and we get all that. But, the bottom line is, we all have to work together to keep our city safe. And right now, it's just been a very bad stretch. It's February, I get all that, but a lot can still happen in this calendar year. And I'm going to keep talking about it because obviously Channel 1's not going to care. They just don't. So, that's going to wrap things up. Just again, take your safety seriously. I know I might be going back on the subway in March, and I am obviously not looking forward to dealing with homeless people, but you know what? No one keeps me away from my city, and the bottom line is I care too much about where I've come from to lose everything that I have had. So that's it. Thank you for watching.